Travel Michigan is on the air, at least for one more segment. Can't believe we're almost through the program already this week. But we get to talk about a really great city next, and it'll be well worth the next few minutes. So stick around to learn all about Grand Rapids on Travel Michigan today. Let's bring in Kelly McGrail. She is the Marketing Content Manager for Experience Grand Rapids. And Kelly, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
So, there's something happening in Grand Rapids all the time, and this winter has been a great winter to enjoy some of those events at the Rosa Park Circle and all that ice skating they do. Just beautiful. The downtown area has been really spectacular to visit this wintertime.
It's been absolutely wonderful. Yeah, you mentioned the Rosa Park Circle and the ice skating rink. We couldn't have asked for better weather for an ice rink in the middle of the city.
I don't think so. And something I was really surprised about, my wife and I brought a couple of friends of ours, little kid friends. We like to pretend to be their grandparents every so often. We went to the Dinosaurs Unearthed exhibit at the Grand Rapids Museum right there on Pearl.
Oh, yeah.
And then we just kind of walked around downtown. It is spectacularly beautiful with all the lights, and even after Christmas time, it's still really a really beautiful downtown. It really
is. It's festive year-round, and it's a really walkable downtown, which is why we're so lucky. You can get from one end of the city all the way to the other in just about 15 minutes. So it's a great place to just walk around.
It is, whether you want to walk outside in the elements, or one of the unique things about Grand Rapids is you don't even have to be outside to see the out-of-side.
You really don't. No, you can take our indoor skywalk. It's climate controlled, and it's a great way to see outside Grand Rapids while staying warm inside.
So, of course, there's something happening, it seems like, all the time, whether it be Griffin's hockey or entertainment at Devos Center. But some of your big events coming up in February, we wanted to kind of introduce people to. So what do you have going this month?
Certainly. Well, you mentioned Dinosaurs Unearthed. That is going to be here until April 27th, and that's a really neat exhibit. They have all animatronic dinosaurs, so for kids, it's these dinosaurs come to life.
Yeah, and in fact, we brought a couple of 6-year-olds. I thought they'd be maybe a little scared. I thought maybe they'd be a little young, but it was great for them seeing those dinosaurs appear to be alive and life-size, by the way, is really a cool thing to see. Yeah.
And they've got one right out in front of the museum. I'm sure you saw it.
Yes.
So he's funny now to look at. He's all covered in snow, but still smiling.
Yeah, it's fun. So that's one thing to kind of recommend if you're heading to that downtown area. Anything else we want to point out?
Yeah, Growing Up Grand is at the Presidential Museum. For those people who don't know, Gerald R. Ford is from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and so his Presidential Museum is right here in downtown Grand Rapids. And this exhibit, Growing Up Grand, is all about him and his early years and how he came to be president and just kind of his background and just what his life was like while living in Michigan.
I recommend people check out the Gerald R. Ford Museum at any time of the year, whether they're doing a special exhibit like this or not, because as much as it celebrates the life of Gerald Ford, it also showcases a certain period of history that was so critically important to our democracy, and they do it so well. Besides, you can go and see what the Oval Office is like in a real life-size setting, and that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, they've got that great setup. And, you can take your kids, too. It's a great place for them to learn. It's not going to go over their heads because they have some great programming for kids as well. Absolutely.
So you also are kind of kicking off one of your big events. One of the things that Grand Rapids is known for is the microbrew industry. Of course, Grand Rapids is called Beer City, USA for a reason.
Yes, it sure is.
So you have an event coming up starting, sometime in the middle of February called Cool Brews Hot Eats. Tell us about that.
We do. Well, as you mentioned, Grand Rapids is Beer City, USA, and we have been named twice now in 2012 and 2013. And just in downtown Grand Rapids, we have over 25 microbreweries. Mm-hmm. So if you like beer, that's another great reason to come visit this city. But as you mentioned, we are kicking off Cool Brews Hot Eats on February 17th. This is the second year of this event, and what it is we ask local chefs and restaurants to team up with the breweries and either cook with their beer or pair their beer with some food. So from February 17th through March 1st, over 55 restaurants in Grand Rapids are going to be serving these Cool Brews Hot Eat menus. So you can check out a restaurant and see what they have on their menu and try that meal. And it'll be paired or made with craft beer, or hard cider.
Well, I would suspect that's kind of a new concept to a lot of people, pairing beer. I mean, we're used to thinking of that when we think of wine. And Michigan, of course, is known for its wineries. But I don't know if a lot of people kind of think about the whole concept of pairing food with beer to really get the best out of both.
Exactly. And so that's kind of what we're trying to open up to the public, is to say, hey, this is a really neat pairing that you should try, because beer goes very well with a lot of foods.
Yeah.
And especially in the winter, these heartier foods, it's great to pair a beer with those.
Well, my brother was just telling me the other day that he lives in the Grand Rapids area, and he's kind of checking out all the microbrews there just to kind of get an idea, become a little more educated on the whole beer industry. And so he samples things. He talks to the brewers themselves, and he's trying to learn a little bit more about it. That's kind of part of the fun of going to a microbrew rather than just a typical bar.
It really is. And like you said, talking with the brewers, you can walk into a brewery at any point, and most likely one of the brewers is going to be there, and they will spend, a bunch of time with you just talking to you about their beer, because that's their passion. And that's kind of what makes Grand Rapids so unique in this, is that you can go to the bar, talk to the brewer, and really learn about the beer, so you can really invest some good time in that.
Of course, the website experiencegr.com has all this information about the Cool Brews Hot Eats event, and you can find information, I would presume, about the various microbrews around the area.
You can. You can find information about the breweries, but you can also find the menus of what these restaurants are going to be offering this week. But while you're on the website, you should check out our latest Ale Trail. We just released a beer map of the local area craft breweries, and it's a really neat illustrated map that shows Grand Rapids and where all of these breweries are. So while you're here, you could, maybe plan a little beer trip as well and take a tour.
Well, I have to compliment you on the website, experiencegr.com. This is really unique. We have a lot of really good websites promoting destinations around Michigan, many really good ones. But the Grand Rapids experiencegr.com site is different. It kind of gives you, I think it's called a spin tour.
Yes.
Something like that. And basically you go there and just check it out. I think you're going to be really impressed.
It's a great way to get to know the city before you come here.
Yeah, it sure is. Now, mentioned Devos Center earlier, and of course the Van Andel where the Griffins play. Any performances coming up that you're aware of that people might want to check out and plan to attend?
We do. Well, we're also very lucky to have Broadway Grand Rapids here, and they bring in some great shows every year. And one of the ones that's coming up soon is Sister Act. So I'm sure as we've all, seen the movie with Whoopi Goldberg, they're bringing that to life on stage starting on February 4th and running through February 9th.
Always fun. The thing about that theater is it's big enough to bring in these really high-quality acts, but small enough to feel pretty intimate and to be able to get pretty close at a really good cost, I think.
It's so true. And, there's really not a bad seat in the house.
Yeah, really. Any other shows we can talk about within the next half a minute or so?
Yeah, when you come here, when you come to Grand Rapids, make sure to check the schedule. We have some great areas for people to perform, including St. Cecilia Music Center, and they're always running live music. So no matter what night of the week you come, you can go find a concert there as well. So and you mentioned the Van Andel Arena and the Griffins. You got to come check out a game when you're here. They won the Calder Cup last year, which is the national championship for their division. So the energy over there has been really fun all year long.
The feeder team for the Detroit Red Wings, too, so some great talent coming out of that team.
Yeah.
Well, Grand Rapids is a place you should not miss. If you've not been there for a while, or even if you have, I really highly recommend a visit this winter. Maybe check out some of those fun February events, including that Cool Brews Hot Eats, starting on the 17th, going through the 1st of March. I want to thank Kelly McGrail, Marketing Content Manager for Experience Grand Rapids, for joining us, and invite you to check out their website, experiencegr.com. Well, we've run out of time for this week's program. I want to thank you for joining us and thank Mark Blackwell for engineering today's program. On behalf of George and Michelle, thank you again for joining us. We'll talk to you next week right here on Travel Michigan, where your trip begins at Michigan.org.